This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Welcome back to another episode of the Icon podcast. Pretty excited to be catching up with some of my, friends that I made as shareholders 2022. So Rachel was one of those awesome people I got to connect with. She happened to be an Icon agent. So now we've got her on the podcast and get to hear all about her. Welcome, Rachel.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Glad to have you. Excited to hear your story. So let's take it back to the beginning. Who are you? Where are you from? How'd you get into real estate?
Okay, I love it. Nice to see you again too, Gianna. So I'm Rachel Warrell. I'm originally from Florida, and I've kind of a long story on how I got started in real estate. This is my fourth year, but actually I always wanted to get into real estate, to be honest with you, but I was always kind of intimidated and scared. So I sold insurance, basically everything boring. And by the way, if you can sell insurance, you can sell anything because nobody wants to talk about it until they need it. Yeah. But anyways, a Cat 5 hurricane hit my town, and my house was unlivable for 10 months, and my whole town was blown away. And all of a sudden, you know what, the 9 to 5 that I had selling insurance, there was no electricity in town, there was no running water, and I'm like, you know what, real estate doesn't really seem that scary to me. If I can get through this, I can get through anything. And so my family, my little girl, my husband and I were moving from condo to condo. I studied for my real estate exam. I passed it. So the hurricane happened in October of 2018, and I passed my exam January 2019, and the rest is history. I finally figured out what I want to do when I grow up.
Well, I'm still trying to decide myself, but that's awesome.
I think you're doing a pretty good job, by the way.
Anything to get a microphone in front of my hands, it's pretty up my alley.
Same.
Rachel, how were you introduced to EXP then? Was it your first brokerage, or how did that come along?
That's a really good question. So whenever I first got into real estate, I joined a team, Keller Williams. And the splits weren't the best. And I'm not saying this about all teams. Okay. I'm not trying to hate on anything, but I went solo, and then I was following a free coach, Ricky Caruth, and implementing everything that he did. And so he decided to make the switch right during the pandemic. So right when they shut down our beaches, because I'm over here in Northwest Florida, Panama City Beach, 30A. So they shut down our beaches, and he was like,
"Hey, I still can't believe that they did that." That was so crazy.
Travel ban. Governor Ron DeSantis shut down our beaches, and you couldn't rent your vacation properties. It was so bizarre. So that was a very scary, scary time. But anyways, Ricky was like, "Hey, I'm going to EXP. You want to come with me?" And he had helped me so much for free. And I had so much success just implementing everything that he said to do. So I was like, all right, let's go. Let's do it. And the rest is history. I mean, the split is amazing over here. Like, of course, I've capped and iconed in my third year of real estate. So yeah, I'm so happy that I made the switch. It really has allowed me to grow, and the sky is the limit over here.
That's great, Rachel. And, like you said, sky's the limit. And then EXP offers rev share, collaboration.
Yeah. And they don't like, honestly, I felt like, being having done so many deals and just blood, sweat, and tears like all last year. And not only was I rewarded with capping, but then I got Icon. So then I got 16,000 in free shares. But that's just my brokerage, EXP, just giving back to me for all my hard work. And it's going back to my family. So, it's a good place to be. Again, like I know that there are some agents that have maybe a bad impression or a bad taste in their mouth because they think it's about recruiting. But no, like I'm over here selling, making money, keeping my money, and I ain't trying to recruit you. If you want to come, but
Right. Well,
I'm just over here making my money.
Questions, we'll get you over here. It's not a matter of if, it's when for everybody out there. But Rachel, now that you're over here at EXP, we've talked about a lot of great things about it, but what's one of your favorite things? What's going to keep you here?
Sorry, I lost my phone. Like I said, I mean, over here, the sky's the limit. So I've created my own brand. I mean, my clients do business with me, but it's also just, it's given me so much. So what's keeping me over here? The money and the potential for growth. I mean, I'm a businesswoman, so it always comes down to that. And two, okay, so I will say the culture of our company, when you look at our top executives and leaders here at EXP, just to name a few, Glenn Sanford, I mean, such a good person, very humble, so successful, but just zero ego. Elizabeth Riley, she's another one I look up to.
Yes.
7-time Icon agent. And just, I've met both of them in person, and you just, like, those are the kind of people I aspire to be, or at least just to be around. The energy, it's good, it's supportive. Again, there's no ego. So, so that being said, okay, just when you look at the leadership and the people at the top here, you are who you hang around, who you surround yourself with. And I find that, most of the agents here are just doing really big things and also staying humble.
I love that. And Rachel, before we dive into all things Icon Award, let's talk a little bit about you, because you're a mom, a wife, you've got a lot going on, high production. So how do you draw the line between work, play, family, set those boundaries? Because real estate is a career that can, eat you alive if you let it.
Yeah. So, I would say, and I read an article, in Success Magazine recently, and I think on the cover was a picture of Elena Cardone, and she said balance is a myth, and that is so true. So how do I combat that? Right now, being that this is my 4th year in real estate, I don't have the luxury of, just kicking back. Like, I've got things I got to do. So, for instance, I'll bring my family with me at work. My little girl, she showed condos with me the other day. Like, I'll bring her to that, so I get to spend time with her and I get to work. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, because, we're doing this, that next Disney trip is happening. So she's a part of it. She sees me working. But at the end of the day, this business, you get what you give. So there is no perfect, at least I haven't found it anyways. I'm sorry. I'm not going to paint you a little fairy tale here.
Yeah,
I work my ass off it, but I bring my little girl with me.
I love it. I love the truth. I like the, honesty, and that's important to me on this podcast and in this industry. So that's great, Rachel. Let's talk about production in your area then, right? We're going to get into the Icon Award now. That's why you're here. So what's the average housing condo price look like for you in your market? About how many do you have to sell to hit your cap? Because obviously after that, it's 20 transactions.
Yeah. I don't know. I capped in 26 days this year. I don't know, to be honest. I don't look at the I don't, I swear to God. I don't look at the numbers. I'm sorry. I'm just like, boom, boom, boom. Like, I don't know. I do know I capped in 26 days because my reset date was April 1st.
Okay.
And so 26 days later, I capped. I'm not really sure what my volume was. I did look it up before I got here that my volume last year was 12.5 million. And keep in mind, I'm a solo agent. Okay. So yes, I am a mom, I am a wife, and I'm also a solo real estate agent. I don't have an assistant. So these deals, like I had to go out and hunt, and I had to make sure that I closed them. So I'm a one-man show right now. I am, looking for a good assistant and to kind of help with the little mundane details so that I can, sell more. Like I just want to do more. That's all I want to do.
I do know a company that can help you.
Very true. Very true.
Just a little plug for our sponsors. But Rachel, moving from that, it's more than just production to be an icon agent. It also takes that cultural commitment, right? So, mentoring, teaching an EXP world, coaching, vetting other icons. What avenue do you take for that and why?
Oh, that's a really good question. So I just hit icon. So I'm going to be in the world and doing the speaking or the panel. Those are my two options there. The route that I'm going to take. I am a free coach as well, a real estate coach. So I help agents for free. And that's just a passion of mine. Also, I do a lot of cold calls. That's how I've gotten my business. I don't just, manifest these things. You have to work hard and do your legion. Yeah. So actually a passion of mine is to help other agents that are scared of calling or need help with scripts, and help with confidence in building trust with people, just with voice to voice communication. I think social media can play a part in that, but the first step is to speak with property owners in your market. And even if they do find you on social media, you still need to. They'll call you. You'll call them. Like there needs to be some voice to voice, which is so crucial to an agent's success in this business.
Hate to break it to you, Gen Xers, you got to get on the phone. I hate getting on the phone. I'm a Gen Xer. It sucks. We want to text, but that's just not how business rolls.
Well, as well as I do, you're a property owner. I'm sure that you would not pick out your real estate agent via text, correct? What? That's a huge investment. You better make sure they have brain cells.
I'm a different breed, man. We grew up on texting. If you're trying to call me, I'm not going to answer. It's bad. It's a bad habit. I know.
But the communication that we're having right now is voice to voice. So maybe video would be a good way to reach your generation. That's still voice to voice. But at the end of the day, you might text me like, hey, I'm thinking about selling, or hey, I want to, guess what? I'm going to call you and we're going to talk about like what's going on in your life. Like, why are you thinking about doing this and what's the next step? Because otherwise I'm just not doing my job as a real estate agent to help you as an individual do what's best for you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you still have to have that conversation.
I agree. I'm just arguing for the sake of conversation.
No, but I think that's a super valid point, to be honest with you. Like that is so valid. I think that, first of all, millennials and Gen X, which we are the up and coming population for buying and selling real estate. And it's a super good point. So I think video is so key. It's
constant adaptation. That's all this industry is a continuous learning process and constant adaptation to the market, to the customers, to the people. So Rachel, there's also a lot of benefits that come with the Icon Award, right? So you get your cap back in stock, a nice big shiny glass trophy, stock rewards. You got it on hand? See?
I'm in my office, so.
There's some monetary value behind that thing. So that's why we love
$16,000, trophy, maybe more.
So, yeah, Rachel, what's your favorite part about iconing then? Why do you keep it on your list of goals? Because obviously production is high. We love to see those commission checks and to cap and everything else. But, it takes a lot of effort to do your cultural commitment and make sure you're giving back to EXP and checking off all the marks to officially icon and being vetted. So why do you continue to put that on your list of goals and strive for it?
Well, no matter what, I'm going to do my best, put everything that I can on the table, every day. So, I'm just going to do my best. And if I hit icon, great. If not, I try, I will try, no matter what. It just, I got to be honest with you. So at shareholders, this was the first icon only event that they had that was private, just the icons, and just to be in a room with the agents in my brokerage that were the best of the best, the heavy hitters, like that was really cool. So just to be able to network and just kind of have that icon only event. And I'm looking forward to the icon only event that they're going to have at EXP Con, because of course I will be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, kind of being in a cool club, like, hey,
In elite status.
Right. And so maybe, there's agents in there that sell, hundreds of properties a year, you know what I'm saying? And they've been in the business for forever. So it's just kind of cool to roll with them, to be honest.
Kind of going back to your point earlier, it matters who you surround yourself with.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And Rachel, as far as new people coming to EXP, right? And maybe it's a rookie, maybe it's somebody that's been at another brokerage and they see this icon award, they put it on their list of goals. It's something they would like to accomplish. How do they break that down to daily goals, or what are some mistakes to avoid, if it's even possible, to icon in your first year with EXP?
Okay, got it. So, all right, my first year with EXP, like I told you, I came on during the pandemic, right? So there was, and nothing really was happening between April and May, and then it just kind of exploded. But I stayed on the phones. I kept working. I was not watching Netflix. Yeah, I didn't hit icon my first year, but then my second year, if you put in the work, it will come. And it really is those daily activities, those things like even when you don't want to feel like, if you don't feel like it, you need to show up,
Right.
I'm not gonna, it's just like when you're asking me like, oh, what is the work family balance? You know what I'm saying? Like, I, again, am not going to, paint any fairy tales. It was really, really hard for me to icon as a solo agent my third year in the business. I worked my butt off for that. And, just kind of like a little quick thing. So the first time I met Elizabeth Riley, she's 7-time icon agent, I think number 46 agent in EXP. The first time I met her was over at Inman in Manhattan. It was a few months ago, when it was in April. Anyways, I had no idea who she was, like no idea. I knew she was a top agent in Austin, Texas, but I didn't know she was Elizabeth Riley, the godmother.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. I've got her scheduled for a podcast. Let me see. 2 Mondays from now. I was really excited and honored that I got her to follow that link and remember it. So I'm really excited.
You are in for such a treat. She is amazing. Just genuine. But I remember I met her at this social thing. My friend Erin, she drugged me to it. She was like, oh, it was with some videographers and I was tired. I've been networking. But anyways, I bumped into Elizabeth Riley and then got to talking and I realized who she was. And then I was like, yeah, I hit icon this year. And I will never forget this. She looked at me and she just, in the most genuine, sincere way, said, wow, good job. And I was like, it wasn't like a, wow, good job. Or it wasn't condescending.
Wow,
it wasn't it just made me feel so good. Cause I felt seen, cause I had, worked so hard to get that. And, I don't know. It's just, I was like, thank you. But you'll see when you have her on this show, you'll see what a genuine person she is. And she doesn't have to work another day in her life if she doesn't want to, but she does, because she's leading other agents, and she's such a big inspiration to me. And I mean, I want to be like that when I grow up. Okay.
And I love what you said, she made me feel so special. And another thing, like in this industry, people aren't going to, like, they're going to forget the things that you do for them and the things that you say, but they'll never forget the way you made them feel.
Correct. And in that moment, like, I'll never forget, like, it was just the first time I had really felt like, wow, thank you. Like, I had felt seen, and it was almost the first time that I had even understood what I had done. Cause I'm just that type of person where I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just going to give it all I got every day. I don't really, even when I hit Icon, I was like, okay, well, I got to hit it again. Like, I really didn't take a moment just to be like, whoa, good job. Like, that was hard. But it's like, when she said that, it just kind of, I was like, for someone like her to say, wow, good job. Like, that just felt good.
And for like a go-getter, entrepreneurial mindset person like you, sometimes it's hard to just stop and pat yourself on the back, because, much like myself too, there's that next goal. Right.
Yeah,
so now I'm a homeowner, and I haven't stopped and been like, wow, Brianna, you're 24 and in your first home. Awesome. Now I'm like, okay, how do I get investment properties?
Yeah. I heard you before we got on here. Like, you're like, oh, if VRBO, I'm like, oh my God, girl. Like, you're so
it's hard for us to just take a minute and be like, I did something big today, because there's always the next big thing. There's always consistent goals that we want to follow and hit. And I totally get that mentality. And I'm so excited to have Elizabeth Riley on, and I'm probably going to share this story with her because it's so awesome. And,
she knows I'm a fan. Like, I saw her shareholders. I'm like, Elizabeth, I got
people like to hear the impact that they make, right? And so it's going to be awesome. So I'll probably share this with her if I don't get too nervous to be interviewing such a.
You won't be nervous with her. Like, you will feel just so put at ease. Like, she's just so sincere and genuine. So you won't even. It'll flow. Like, it'll be good.
I love that. And Rachel, were you ever skeptical of EXP when it was first introduced to you?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know how many times I have been tried to EXP people are like, and I was like, get off me. Like, I don't know who you are. Like, it was like super salesy and just like super. But then I told you, like, who the person that I went with at EXP had helped me so much, and he was like, I'll be here if you need me. I'll answer the phone. He's the top agent himself, closing 100 deals a year himself as a solo agent. So I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. Like,
yeah, it matters how it's presented to you, because you don't want to feel like you're walking through the mall and those kiosk people are like, here, like, let me do your hair.
Same thing with real estate. When you're prospecting, even if it's on the phone or even if it's on video, you don't feel like, hey, you want to sell your house? Like, nobody cares, bro. Nobody. Like, you need to add value, build trust, and then, people will come to you. You will, as they say, attract, especially like-minded people, I think. So I do my best to, like, I'm on Instagram. I always do my stories. I really try to, but I share my losses as well as my wins. Like, nobody gives a shit I got another listing. Like, they want to hear about how Karen hung up with me on the phone. And
that transparency is important in building, a brand that people know, like, and trust. So I can really appreciate that and respect that about you, Rachel. That's really cool for, branding purposes and reputation as well.
Yeah. And especially with other agents, like, it's kind of relatable. We all go through the same crap every day. And sometimes it's just good to be like, yeah, me too, girl. Like, yeah.
Same. We all love a good Karen. And Rachel, for anybody that's watching right now, and maybe they're on the fence about coming over to EXP because they hear things, they're skeptical. They feel like they're being sold. It's a pyramid scheme. It's a cult. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. but they see the greener grass. What would you have to say to somebody that's kind of sitting on that edge, wondering if they should be making that jump to EXP, or how would you set the fire underneath them to just get them over here?
So probably I'm not like the best person to ask about that, because I like I said, I'm like not a big recruiter. I really do focus on my sales, but anyone who ever, approaches me about it, especially like a top producer or somebody who is going to be a top producer at the end of this day, if it don't make no dollars, it don't make no sense. Okay. So really, there's two things I would say that are really important when you pick out your brokerage. Number one is, what financially, what are they going to offer you? What are they not going to make sure they're not going to bleed you dry? The second thing with EXP, which is extremely important, is you want to interview and choose your sponsor very wisely, because that's going to be your first, person to go to if you have a problem, and you are who you surround yourself with. So I think EXP, it's kind of like people are all concerned about which brokerage. Well, with this model, it's like, who's your sponsor?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what do they do? And you really want to make sure that you're joining under someone who's going to support you, who's going to help you, and who is doing what you want to do as an agent and as a person.
Again, going back to your point, proximity is power. It matters who you surround yourself with. Can't emphasize that enough in this, not even brokerage, but industry.
Yeah, 100%. Like, even if you're not considering like EXP, if you're scared of like the cloud-based, which I'm not. Like, you know how much money I make in the spare bedroom of my house? Like, God, like they'd blow your socks off. Okay, But anyways, even if you're trying to choose something with a brick and mortar, like, you need to make sure you're joining someone who's going to compensate you, not take and bleed you dry, and then also has a very good reputation in your community. So again, I think that there are some people that have a misconception because maybe they have been recruited by somebody who's they're probably not doing a lot of sales, they're just calling a bunch of agents. You know what I mean? But take that with a grain of salt. Again, who you join with this company and what organization you're a part of is crucial.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Rachel, that was my last question. We're coming up on almost 30 minutes. I think it's been a fantastic, very insightful episode with you, and the transparency when it comes to the industry and EXP. Is there anything you want to leave the listeners with today as we finish it up?
I mean, I'd love to connect with you guys on Instagram. My handle is Rachel Warrell Realtor. And give me a shout out. And then also, like, if anyone's interested in cold calling with me, I cold call on Zoom pretty regularly. So just DM me on Insta, I'll send you the link. We can make some cold calls together. Again, that's kind of a passion of mine, because I truly don't know how to build something as fast as talking to as many people as you can and being as genuine as possible.
Absolutely. I love that, Rachel. That's great advice. If you guys are interested in coming over to EXP, maybe looking to interview sponsors, I definitely encourage you to check out some other Icon episode podcasts, but definitely encourage you to reach out to Rachel if you feel like she is going to be a good fit for you. You guys have the mindset, right? But if you're like, Rachel works too hard, doesn't seem like my kind of vibe, talk to some other Icon.
Yeah. Go talk to somebody who will give you a fairy tale. It's fine.
That's right. But if you have the same entrepreneurial go-getter mindset, definitely reach out to Rachel. Everybody's happy to field questions here. And Rachel, I'll be seeing you at EXP Con then?
Hell yeah, you'll be seeing me at EXP Con, and I can't wait. And I will be looking out for your episode with Elizabeth. So
I'll share it,
girl.
Don't worry.
By the way, congrats on your new property.
Thanks. I'm excited about it. Getting my fence built today. So I've been
Girl.
I've been looking on my little security cameras like, wow, they're doing
Hashtag
it so well.
adulting. Good grief. Yes.
I know. It's a crazy roller coaster, but it's exciting and good to be going through the process before I start slinging homes.
Exactly, boss goals. So I get it.
Well, Rachel,
All right,
thank you so
girl.
much. Can't wait to
Thanks
see
for
you in
having me.
Vegas, and we'll be chatting soon, okay?
All right, I'll see ya.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at SphereRocketVA.com and find out how we can make your life easier.